Well, we talk on this program sometimes about actors like Lindsay Lohan and others who, frankly, make all of us roll our eyes. But there is another Hollywood out there, and I'm very pleased to have with us on the program one of the very good guys. Gary Sinise is with us. Gary, thank you for coming on the program tonight.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
You give, I don't know how much of your time and energy to helping military members, their families, first responders. I think most of our audience is familiar with the Lieutenant Dan Band, but you have the Gary Sinise Foundation that is sort of an umbrella for a number of programs. What can you tell us about what your foundation does?
Well, I created the foundation because I've just gotten involved in so many different things over the years and been so busy, and I'm kind of spread about as thin as I can be, and I wanted to make sure I could continue the efforts, at the same level that I'm doing, but also have an entity that I could guide people to important things that I think are going on out there with regards to troop support, and also be able to take in additional resources if people are looking for places to donate. They can donate to my foundation. We'll guide that money to very good programs that I'm either creating or supporting out there. Just another way for me to continue sort of the ramped-up effort to support our troops and families. They're very stressed. We've asked a lot of them over the last 10 years, especially since September 11th. They've been deploying numerous times around the world, some of these people multiple times themselves, and these people need our help. And without a strong defense and without the keeping these people strong who are volunteered to serve our country, our liberty and our freedom is in jeopardy. So I'm just trying to do what I can to help them.
When you talk to these folks who have done tours overseas in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, what do they need from us, Gary?
Well, I think the first thing that's important is appreciation, just gratitude and awareness. Just knowing that people are out there makes a difference. And if you see somebody, from the simplest act of patting somebody on the back when you see them walking down the hallway in an airport, just telling them thank you for serving our country, that'll go a long way. And then there are lots of organizations that are out there trying to fill the gaps, where government can't really succeed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of non-government organizations out there that are doing things on behalf of our wounded, on behalf of our Gold Star families. These are families that have lost a loved one. They're going through grieving. On behalf of veterans who need jobs, whatever. There's multiple fronts out there that are trying to do things to make sure that these troops and families stay strong. We need them to stay strong. We need this all-volunteer service that we have is a good thing for our country. And at the very least, just knowing you're appreciated for putting your life on the line for your fellow citizens in defense of liberty is something that can carry you a long way. And we all know what it's like when we work hard. We do everything we can, and then it seems like nobody cares. That's especially when you're doing it for very little money.
Mm-hmm.
That can be that can put additional stress on somebody who's already stressed, being deployed multiple times, and their families going through these long deployments and everything.
So how do you think we're doing as a society, Gary, in terms of showing these soldiers and seamen and airmen our admiration and our gratitude? I mean, we're not seeing this strong anti-war mentality like you saw in the latter days of the Vietnam War, but it's almost like it's easy to ignore these folks.
Well, like you say, if you put it in retrospect, if you kind of compare it to 40 years ago when we were in conflict in Vietnam and we were receiving, 500 killed in action every week.
Mm-hmm.
And there were protests going on. We had a draft. We were drafting people, sending them to Southeast Asia. There was all kinds of division in our nation that was bad for our country, and certainly the scapegoats of that were our service members when they returned from conflict. Not only did they have to kind of struggle through what they had done and seen in battle, but they had to come home to a nation that was spitting on them.
Yeah.
That weakened our country. That was not a good thing, and thankfully it seems as if we learned some hard lessons from how we treated our service members at that time, and we've tried to apply that today. There are a lot of people out there working tirelessly, day by day, daily, and I support a lot of these folks who are trying to make sure that what happened to our Vietnam veterans doesn't happen again. But is it enough? Not really. I think, if you have a friend or a family member who's serving in the military and being deployed and going into harm's way and whatnot, you might feel the sacrifice because you're personally connected to somebody who's, in a danger zone, and you have to kind of struggle through that on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do what you have to do to get by. If you're a family member of somebody who's deployed and your refrigerator breaks down or your car breaks down, you don't have much money coming in, whatever, you have to find those ways to get through that. And thankfully there are organizations out there like Operation Homefront and Wounded Warrior Project, different groups that I support that are trying to fill those gaps and make sure that people at home stay strong while their loved ones are deployed, or if, God forbid, somebody comes back wounded, we try to make sure that they're well taken care of. But is it ever going to be enough? No, we can never do enough for our veterans. These people go out and do a kind of work that very, very few people even think about. They're a special breed of individual. We're lucky to have them. When things go bad, like September 11th, for example, 19 guys with box cutters get on a plane and do all that damage. God forbid they would ever get hold of more serious weapons. There are a lot of people out there that are trying to prevent that from happening, and they're placing themselves in harm's way to do it. And it's not hard to understand or to fathom or envision a time where somebody's going to sneak across the border with some anthrax or something, or suitcase nuclear weapons, or whatever it is that people are dreaming about doing to our country. These people that are sworn defenders are trying to make sure that that kind of thing doesn't happen. It's the 21st century is a dangerous world. It's a dangerous world out there, and even though things are ramping down in Iraq and Afghanistan, we're not as focused on the wars and everything. These people are still on a day-to-day basis, 24 hours a day, going through some very difficult things in service to our defense.
Absolutely. Well, Gary, thank you again for everything that you're doing. GarySiniseFoundation.org is the website of the brand new foundation. We appreciate your time, sir, and I look forward to doing this again soon.
Thank you very much.